Hey everybody, Brad Szollose here live. Welcome to the Liquid Leadership Nation. If you're new to our group, welcome aboard. On this wonderful Friday, I'm sitting here having a cup of coffee. I hope everybody had a great time in our 7-day business challenge. And today we're going to be getting back to basics, get back on that saddle with everything you've learned, and we're going to go back to knowing and understanding business structure. So, and since everybody on here is a small business owner, or you work at a company, or whatever, we're going to be able to get back to some of that with what you've learned in the previous episodes. We've focused on mindset, but one of my most popular of these broadcasts actually was when I started talking about business basics, Business 101. So we're going to be talking about that. As you can see, we're in my living room. A set of drums here. We just start playing. So I see Ben Gay is on. Hey Ben, how you doing? Good to see you here on this wonderful blustery day here on the East Coast, Friday. And I like to end my Fridays strong. Who else likes to end their Fridays on a strong note, huh? So got my cup of coffee. I'm all set to go. We're going to be talking about cool stuff. How many of you had your mind blown a little bit last week during the 7-day challenge? Just hit some high fives, love signs, or just sit in there and go, tell me how you feel. Was it challenging enough for you? Did it really kick you up a notch? Did it take it to another level? Let me know. And for those of you who are new to the group, welcome aboard. You may not know what to expect in this group, but there's a lot of love and there's a lot of support. And I'm just hanging out over here. I got my Eskrima sticks, the Chinese art of fighting sticks. Let me get a little closer. We're going to be talking a little bit about something that David Brown was incredibly excited to present to his business people. And don't forget, we have a lot of great people in our group that are, how can I say it? They're business experts. They've been around for a long time. Ben Gay is on right now, and Ben is a master of sales. Reach out to him, friend him, get his books. My God, you have genius here in the group. So don't just listen to me. We have Ryder Champagne, who is an acupuncturist, chiropractor, knows everything about health. Listen to his videos on Wednesday. Fantastic. We have Sheila Anderson, who will show you how to dress, how to become the brand, the living brand that you want to be. And these are people who've made good living doing this. So don't be shy. And real quick, I have a brand new phone, camera, whatever you want to call it. And we're on our 50th broadcast, it says, of something. I'm not sure. Anyways, I can't see if you're all there. So if you could please let me know that you're here, that would be awesome. Okay? Anyways, Brad Szollose, we're going live. Boom. I don't think anything has changed, but we are excited. Let me make sure everything is in here. We're all set. Everybody can see me? Hello. So, let's get back to Business 101. I want to show you this chart. This is the chart I show everybody. Get a good look at that. In business, there's only 3 things you really need to worry about. Marketing. And what is marketing? Marketing is your reputation. Marketing is what people know about you before they hire you. Marketing is what it's like when you go into Starbucks. And then we have sales. Yeah, I'm trying to reverse engineer this. Sales. And that's where the rubber meets the road. That's your e-commerce site. That's your cash register. That's where you actually close the deal. And Ben can tell you a lot more about closing the deal than perhaps I could, but I'll give you the basics today. And then we have management. Management is getting the most out of people. Maybe you don't have people yet. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you have a virtual assistant. But managing is the structure of your business. So today let's focus a little bit on marketing, okay? For right now, we're going to do marketing, sales, and management, but let's start with marketing. Now, I've seen people dozens of times launch a business, and that business isn't going anywhere. And they're sitting there going, well, why isn't it going anywhere, Brad? Well, as soon as I Google you, if I don't have a website and I don't have any marketing behind it, I don't know who you are. Okay? So it's important. Your marketing is tied into your brand. And what that is marketing is your reputation. And I don't mean to be crass, but I've come up with a way of coining this, wording this. Marketing is romance. It's plain and simple. In the game of business, marketing is romance. It's what gets you excited. It's emotional. It makes you stand on line because you can't wait to get that cup of Starbucks coffee or whatever brand you love. It's what makes you go, oh, I can't wait to get tickets to see Jimmy Buffett. Marketing is knowing the experience you're going to have with that brand. And it's the romance part. It gets people excited. It gets them to fall in love with you. So what is sales in this paradigm? Sales is copulation. It's the closing of the deal. It's to bringing it together and the two of you having this tighter, intimate relationship where you hand your credit card over. So not to be crass, but marketing is romance. Sales is copulation. It's actual deed. Now, as you develop a relationship with your customer, you actually want to have, and we all know those of us who are married in successful marriages, in order to have more of the latter, to have more copulation, you need to have more of the romance in there. It's the little details where maybe you come up and you make a wonderful dinner for your wife because you know she's coming home late and she's going to be tired. And instead of ordering food, you make her favorite dinner, which might be fish with asparagus. It's done French style. Okay? Or maybe you start her car in the morning. Or maybe your spouse, your husband, you know that he needs to relax more. So you schedule a couple's massage. That's romance. There's no sex involved. All that is showing your love. Really showing you care. It's making your relationship richer, more dynamic. It makes it just that much better. When my wife walks in the door at night, I'm like a little puppy dog. I mean, you're home, you're home, you're home. Some nights that's annoying, I know. But the reality is, I try to make her end of the day much easier. And that's what it is. So the romance part becomes fun, it becomes adventuresome, it becomes creative, and that's your marketing. In business, that's your marketing side. If nobody knows what it's like to work with you, you've got to begin creating a relationship, and that starts with videos. That's your website. Is your website easy to navigate? Are there videos on your website where people can actually see you talking like this and they do this? Because in the 21st century, people have to know you first, like you second, and trust you third. When they know, like, and trust you, they buy from you. So marketing and sales have to work in tandem with each other. So if you were not clear in your marketing, you're not going to be clear in your sales. Or if your sales are clear but your marketing is non-existent, you're not going to get sales. So those two things are always being impacted with each other. And I'll give you a good idea. I'll give you a good lesson in this. I was talking to Robert O'Donnell yesterday. Hey, Robert, big shout out to you. Robert created the Yeti, the Expedition Yeti. And his marketing is clear. His marketing is powerful. His marketing is this giant, abominable snowman with the full fur body and everything. And he shows up, and you got to find the Yeti. His marketing is so compelling, gets people to take action, gets people to jump through hoops. That's killer marketing. And so Robert has created a brand that's so powerful, so in your face that you kind of go, whoa, there's the Yeti. We got to find the Yeti. We got to find the Yeti. Now, that's great romantic marketing. It creates a relationship. It gets people excited. What makes people search for your brand? And it has exploded Robert's business, okay? But let's take a look at some other businesses that you might look at. Now, Let's start with Starbucks. Starbucks is one of my favorite brands. Whether you love Starbucks or you hate Starbucks, here's what you have to take into consideration. Starbucks, who was it? Charles Schultz, who started Starbucks? He basically came up with this idea that people were willing to pay a higher premium for a product because when you went in, you got the Italian bistro experience, or the Italian coffee shop experience with the beautiful tiled floors, and you could sit and you could relax and you could sip your coffee and you could, buongiorno, my friends. And a shout out to Lee Wright, who's joined us from Spain. Hey, good to see you. Welcome. I'm doing Italian, but you're in Spain. So you get that experience of more of a European coffee shop. So when he created that, he also started to charge $4 for a cup of coffee. Now that wasn't just a cup of coffee, that was steamed milk, or a cafe au lait, which is milk and coffee. But when you went to Starbucks, you paid for this experience, this moment to relax, this moment to sip and feel like you weren't here in America for a few seconds. He also called it third space. So you were invited to order food all day and go on the Wi-Fi for free and do your work from there. And this really tied into the millennial mindset of being able to relax. And when I first saw this, I said, on the East Coast especially, we had 4 Starbucks in Union Square. There was one in the Barnes & Noble building. There was one near the McDonald's on the west side. And then on the east side, near the Zeckendorf Towers, there was another one. And then a block down the street on 14th Street was another Starbucks. 4 Starbucks. 4 Starbucks in a 1-block radius, or 4-block radius. Not within a mile of each other. And it blew my mind when it comes to Business 101, because I started to sit there and go, why would anybody put 4 Starbucks within a 1-mile radius of each other? Well, guess what? Each one of those Starbucks is about convenience. And people will not cross the street to get to the other Starbucks just because they like that better. So Starbucks flipped the paradigm and said, I'm going to provide the convenience right here. You don't have to walk. We have 4 Starbucks, so you don't have to walk that far. Because Americans were lazy. So what happened is, a lot of people would stay on the west side and would not cross the street to go to the east side. So they put one on the east side and they put one inside the Barnes & Noble. Wherever there was traffic, they met their consumer. And that's about being smart with your sales. That kind of falls into the sales part. Where can I get the point of purchase and move it and put it right there? So the marketing part was, wherever you saw a Starbucks logo, you knew what you were getting. That's their reputation, and they built that reputation over years. And you may have to do the same for you. Your reputation may take years to build. But if you don't have a sales structure in place, which a lot of people don't, they focus on the marketing or they focus on the sales, and nobody knows who they are, you're going to have trouble with your business. You're going to have trouble elevating and creating an actual business from the fun you're creating. Somebody told me once, for those of you who are corporate speakers out there, I'm going to blow your mind a little bit. Speaking used to be a business, but it's no longer a business. Speaking is not a business. Mind blown. Speaking is not a business, but speaking is the marketing tool to drive sales to your business. Mic drop. Okay. But Brad, I get paid to speak. Yeah, that's if you're a corporate speaker and you're famous. Speaking is about sales. Speaking is your marketing. Speaking in front of an audience and providing them tools, tactics, and strategies is your marketing. Give me some love signs if you agree with this, or say yes. I don't see any activity on here. I only see Lee. Hi, Lee. Lee's coming back to New York for a couple of weeks. Coming soon. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Take a Lee seminar, Lee Wright's seminar. They're really, really good. Feng Shui It's all about energy, getting that energy to flow properly in your life. So, getting back to what we're talking about. Let's say you have great marketing, like killer marketing. I mean, off the cuff marketing, but you don't have a website and you haven't figured out how to monetize what you're selling. You're going to have a disconnect. Excuse me. And that disconnect is obviously between marketing and sales. Right. That disconnect is between marketing and sales. Let me back up a little bit. Marketing and sales. They have to work in tandem a little bit. So some people have created an amazing brand, but they don't have the structure in place. You're welcome, Lee. So you have a great brand that everybody's attracted to, but you've forgotten to build the website, create social media, build a LinkedIn page. And for some of you, you're individuals, so you have to have a LinkedIn page. But for some of you, you may be selling a service or a brand. So you need a website, and that website has to be clear. The copy has got to be clear. Good morning, Sheila. Welcome aboard. Or actually, it's afternoon. Sorry. I was so used to the 7-day challenge. Good morning, everybody. So let me get back to this real quick. Your sales and your marketing have to work in tandem with each other. So, Lisa Gage says this, I make money promoting, marketing my speaker clients as well as booking them. Yes, she does. So corporate arena is best way for me to make money. However, I use it as a tool to help my clients build their business. Yes, yes. So, great speakers. Hi, Sheila. Good to see you. We'll watch this later. I'm going to love this topic. Yes, we're going to have some fun with this topic. Sheila's a master of creating your image. She's a national or international image maker. That's really what she does. And in this day and age, you got to have the right suit, the right look, everything. I have this goatee really because I'm a creative director and millennials kind of respect that. So when I walk into a room, sometimes the executives don't like it. But I don't care because I'm radical, I'm cool. It tells them right up front, I'm not going to be your same old sliced bread. I'm going to be teaching you things. Now, it's taken me a few years to figure out what I'm selling. What I'm selling is strategies for profitability. Strategies that deal with engagement that is cross-generational. Strategies that are going to help you with retention, engagement, legacy, and profitability. Yes, always be yourself. Never a commodity. And I started to realize I was so, and Sheila will like this story. I started to look at myself on camera. I went and got a good suit. I changed the suit up a little bit. I got a new trendy, cool shirt. And I get on stage and I get the photos back and I get the video back and I hate every piece of it. And you know why? It's not me. It's not my uniform. My uniform is usually black shirts and a charcoal gray suit with a kick-ass handkerchief and then my hair up, you know? Because when I'm on stage, I'm like this. And yeah! I get fun. I'm out of my body. I'm jumping around. Lisa's seen me on stage. I'm the toy man. I show toys from each generation. So people go, oh my goodness, I forgot we used that, you know? So I'm being myself. And being myself, what am I selling? I had no clue for years. So guess what I'm selling now? I have a brand new keynote that's also a workshop. And guess what that workshop deals with? I'm going to give you gamified strategies, gamification strategies to help get the most out of your workforce. It's tangible, it's real, and it's right on point. Thank you, Lee. Lee says I'm a rock star on stage. I'm embarrassed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Tommy Newmaster, my buddy, Seed Your Lawn. Authenticity and it is a reason to believe. Yeah, you have to have that reason to believe. Shout out to Tom, once again, starting his own company, getting out there on his own by himself. He actually did a challenge at his office on which coffee to use. And it was a lot of fun. So follow Tom. Tom's a great, incredible teacher, professor, logo and brand and packaging designer, and just amazing. Lisa says, authentic Brad, an extra bonus. Christopher Walken and Arnold Schwarzenegger go to meeting. Catch you all later. Wow, let's go. Arnold, we have to get to the meeting. Yes. How are we going to get there? I have to have my cup of coffee. Yes. I'm a Cyberdyne 6000 model, a cybernetic organism with a bioskin exoskeleton. Yeah. I do that on stage. And you know what's funny? That's me. It's authentic. And guess what? There's nothing more fun than getting the CEO of a company who makes $250,000 a year, a multimillionaire, and getting them to laugh because I've pretended, you know, I'm the CEO as Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. So, but what am I selling? And you have to ask yourself what you're selling. Because if you don't ask those questions, you're going to be floating. You're going to be floating a lot. Okay? Your marketing is the romance. Your sales is the copulation. It's the bringing it together. So marketing and sales must work in tandem. So, yes, I am your new spokesperson, Tom, because I'm damn proud of you. Damn proud to know you. Tom is doing great work, and he's helping the next generation. So yes, take it in, my brother. You're kicking ass, taking names. So marketing, you may have amazing marketing. Let me get back to this story real quick. Starbucks may have amazing marketing, but Starbucks, if you notice, has very rarely has ever given us a television commercial about Starbucks. They're really non-existent. They do have a couple where their liqueurs or their frappuccinos, the cold ones in the fridge. They have those, but other than that, they really don't market that much to us. Hey, Sarah, welcome aboard. If you want to grow your business, first you want to start to really get those sales set up first, those ongoing sales, because cash flow is the most important thing. What is cash flow? It's monthly money coming in on retainer, on contract that you don't have to think about. It's always there. It's flowing into your coffers, okay? That's the retainer model. That's the membership model. That's the model that makes sure that you're sustaining your business every single month, regardless of what you do. For some of you, that will be a website where you have products, t-shirts, CDs, audio CDs, whatever they're going to order, that's going to be there every month. And it's going to be able to be something they can order from automatically. And it's really not that hard to set up an e-transaction site. You can automatically put your, losing my train of thought. You can put on your e-commerce page, let's say, PayPal can give you buttons, and you can get a PayPal business account as long as you get an EIN number, which is an employee identification number, or an entrepreneur identification number that allows you to be able to be a company even under your own name, even a DBA, doing business as, which is what that means. So getting back to that, you can have PayPal or you can use Square. You can do whatever you want to set up the transactional buttons where they can fill in the form and do whatever they need to do. You can also use automatic transactional e-shopping carts. They have a monthly fee involved with them rather than a percentage. The percentage are good to start in the beginning rather than paying that monthly fee until you have cash flow coming in. So once you have cash flow coming in, take a little bit of that money and start putting it into marketing. And where are you going to get the most bang for your buck in marketing? Well, you're going to have to do a brand breakdown. Remember I posted that in the group? You need to do a brand and marketing breakdown as to what your brand represents, how you're going to get it out there, what it's going to be seen on, what videos are you going to be, what are the tactics that you're going to use that allow people to see your brand. Because once again, they have to know, like, and trust you in order to pull out that credit card to be able to do that transaction. So if they see your work, they see the quality of what you're doing, then they're going to make a transaction. Now, some of you are business to business. You're behind those walls. Like I know Lee does some amazing design work for private clients. But she is allowed to show her work, photos of her work. And what would really benefit if she did some videos as well. And I think what would really help Lee immensely is if she could get some hotel chains where she consults and she sits with them and she shows them how to make their lobbies and even the rooms have more of a feng shui kind of quality. And she's built that reputation by her marketing at this level. So they get to know, like, and trust her, the personality. So let's get back to this. Sales now becomes a much easier thing when you have your marketing up, okay? Now, some of you, and this is a rare thing, and it's an accidental thing sometimes. Yes, there you go. Lee says, yes, I'm talking to a developer in New York now. Awesome. See, we're simpatico. We're thinking psychic connections. What happens is, this is rare, but sometimes someone's brand is so strong and their criteria and their credibility is off the hook, but their sales are lagging. And part of the reason their sales are lagging is for two reasons. Two reasons, you ready to write them down? The two reasons your sales are probably lagging is, one, you don't know what you're selling. Therefore, you're not offering that on your website, and you're not showing it, and you're not defined by it, and you're not writing it down. I suffer from that problem. I haven't defined what it is I'm selling. That's number one. So I would sit down and I would get focused. What are you selling? And the second reason we miss out on sales is we're shooting for the wrong target. Sometimes we're shooting for very high-end clients. Like, I always thought I should really be speaking in front of C-level executives. And I should, but that's not my market. My market is the SHRMA, the Society's Associations for Human Resource Management. But HRMAs, or Leadership and Development, usually doesn't have that much money. So guess what? My channel partner in this transaction is the executive. Get it? Let me explain it. You have a channel marketing partner that is going to take you in the door for your business. And that channel marketing partner may not be who you think it is. Like for Lee, let me explain this. Your channel marketing partner doesn't do what you do, but they need what you do. So for Lee, if you don't mind me picking on you, Lee, Lee provides interior design services that are feng shui energy based. And in a day and age when people want organic products and fireproof products and more of this grassroots, down-to-earth stuff, guess who would be her best channel marketing partner? Architectural firms and manufacturers of these products. They would be the perfect channel marketing partner because they could sell what she does very quickly by walking in and saying, look, we've built this 21-story beautiful hotel, and we have hired S. Lee Wright of Wright Designs to make it a feng shui space. It's organic. It flows properly. The energy is about refreshing your life. You get what a channel marketing partner is? Here's another example of a channel marketing partner. Continental Airlines, back in the 90s, I believe it was. They know they have to serve coffee every morning on their flight. So they partnered with Starbucks. And Starbucks and Continental shared in the advertising dollars on those billboards to be able to say, hey, we're serving Starbucks in our flights now. Guess what? Both companies, the stock shot up 15%, and their sales also increased as well because they were working together. Continental does not make coffee, but they serve coffee. What does Continental do? They get you from point A to point B in an airplane. They happen to serve you coffee on the way. Who best to say, hey, we got your coffee? Starbucks. That's a channel marketing partner. It's a win-win for both of you, but you both need each other, but you both don't do the same things. So I want you to start putting your head together a little bit as to who your channel marketing partner is. And I wasn't even going to talk about this. This was a pure accident simply because Lee came on. And it's nighttime in Spain, am I right, Lee? You're like 6 hours ahead, so the sun's about to go down. I want you to write out companies that could sell your services, even needs your services, but they don't necessarily hire you directly. It's like me. I've spoken at Vistage. Vistage is nothing but a membership-driven group that's nothing but business owners. Nothing but business owners. Now, I didn't pass. I tried passing. I had the other thing about C-level guys and business owners is they don't sit and listen. And I had two people incredibly disruptive in my first meeting where I'm auditioning. They wouldn't sit down. They pushed against me. They argued with me. And I realized maybe that's not my central market. Maybe that's a channel partnership. So I had to really take my loss, lick my wounds, and go, that's not my market. That's not my target, but that is my channel marketing partner. And how many of you, just put in there, yes, it happened to me, you've accidentally gotten a job or a gig or whatever simply because the owner of the company saw you and recommended you to another company or another individual in the group? How many does that happen to? That accident usually is your channel partner. The person who chose you to get in may not be the person who wrote the check. So analyze that part of it in the sales cycle. Yes, several times. Tom knows this one. You get recommended for a job even though that person will never be hiring you. So here's your marketing and your sales tied together. Your reputation, and someone pushes you and sells for you and closes that deal, and suddenly now you've got money in the bank and you don't know how it happened. Analyze that. Stop the guesswork. Stop sitting there going, that happened so accidentally. No, it didn't. There's a reason for it. And it happened this week, Tom. Good, good. That's a good thing. Because business shouldn't happen by accident. It should be that thing that you can sit there and say, oh, that sales happened because I went to this particular place, I met this particular person who has this title, and that person had the power to recommend me to the next person. I'll give you a good example. And this person becomes your channel marketing partner. This happened to me. I was called in. This is probably one of my favorite stories. It's a relationship. Yes, we are in the relationship business, all of us. If you're an individual entrepreneur, business owner, you're in the relationship business. And guess how you get your business? Word of mouth. This happened to me in 2014, I think, or 2013. I had the breakout year that year. I was able to join NSA, which is the National Speakers Association. I was able to travel a lot. I put 12,000 miles between airplanes and cars and trains, planes, and automobiles in 3 months. And here's something that was incredible that happened. I was asked to speak at the CLM convention, which is an association for claims and litigation management. These are insurance professionals that are either claims adjusters or they're in the litigation side of insurance. Now, a lot of you may not know this, but there's a whole side to insurance that has no agents involved, no sales. It's all about litigation. Lawyers either stopping litigation or preparing for it, or, here's a good example. Let's say a pharmaceutical company creates a hip replacement. Well, they put a certain amount of money aside for that hip replacement on every device in case they get sued. And this is a huge niche part of that industry. And it's necessary and it's always there. Well, guess what happened? While I'm on stage doing an opening keynote, which I specialize in, somebody in the audience just sits there and goes, oh, you have to speak at our Las Vegas event. We're going to have you come out, okay? They interrupted me right in the middle of my speech. I said, great. Now, I've heard that dozens of times, so I didn't think anything of it. And then another guy in the audience is giving me a hard time. Well, guess what? It didn't take any more than 3 months after that gig in September in Philadelphia before I got contacted by this insurance company to fly out to Las Vegas and be their keynote speaker on the last day of a 4-day event. And they apologized because they only had $7,500 for my fee and another $2,000 for books. So I got out there, we set up the PowerPoint, we started working. I had the audience in tears, we were laughing, we were having fun. Well, one of the guys in the audience, guess what? He was the executive vice president of marketing of the company that just bought that insurance company. And this new insurance company they just bought was run by women. It's all women at the top. Well, this guy pulls me aside from the other company and he says, you know, we're kind of that old boy network. We smoke cigars, we go on fishing trips, and now we've bought a company that's all women. He goes, we don't know what to do with that, and I think you'd be a perfect fit to come in and teach us not only about women, diversity, but also the millennial issue and things like that. Would you like to come to our retreat up in Michigan, in northern Michigan, at Grand Traverse? I said, sure, I'd love to. I got a second gig from that one speech in Philadelphia. This second gig, excuse me, paid me another $7,500 plus books. Then guess what happened? I've gotten 3 more gigs just from word of mouth from people who saw me at that gig in Philadelphia in 2014. And they've all been insurance companies, and somebody winds up at another insurance company at the top, chairman of the board, somebody who can pull the CEO aside and say, hey, you need to get Brad Szollose in here because he's awesome. It's good ego stroke, but honestly, if you can create such an amazing experience for your customers that they will tell other people, that's your job. That's your job 101. So it doesn't matter if you are in a Yeti costume promoting winter sports and snowmobiling, or you're a designer, a design shop that specializes in every piece of the packaging process for consumer goods to pharmaceuticals. You can do it. How are people going to learn about you? If you're business to consumer, B2C, or B2B, what are you going to do about that? Because it all boils down to this: marketing and sales. Marketing drives sales. Romance drives copulation. So I hope I've been a little bit clear on this, because business can be very confusing if you haven't been trained in the basics, or if you hadn't gone through the school of hard knocks. I don't believe, it's 2 of one, half a dozen of the other. You can either be an entrepreneur and just go for it and learn as you go, or you can go to college and learn it. There's no one way to learn this. But business is broken into those 3 parts. And sales and marketing, those should be your priority. In this day and age, your marketing is your image. Your marketing is the romance. The marketing is your reputation out in that world. When people mention your name and your company's name, what are they going to say? That's your marketing part. It's the romance part. To sell, you have to get clearer as to what you're selling. And because we may be in a service business, or maybe you're a speaker, how do you present to your clients? What tangible or intangible thing are you selling? For me, I'm selling books, and books have ideas in them, and those ideas people can actually use to motivate people. But my workshops are where transformation takes place. My workshops are more expensive. My consulting is more expensive because it's long term. And when I do business coaching or life coaching, I am intense. You're going to grow. And I ask for that year-long commitment because I know exactly what it takes, because I've been doing it for years. I know exactly what it takes to transform you, and I know how you're going to try and run away from me when I'm trying to coach you. So I know that 6 months ain't going to do it. You're going to go, I learned a lot, I'm done. But a year, not only are you going to learn a lot, you're going to transform, and it's going to become permanent. That's why I always recommend a year. I've done the 6-month stuff. I've done the 9-month stuff. It never works. because people go back to their old habits. Same with consulting. I can do a great keynote on stage, blow your mind. I can make you stand there and go, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. Boom. You're not going to be transformed unless I'm in your face every day like that. Go on, let's go. And I've been there. That's why I know this process. Hi, Dan. Welcome aboard. So, write this down. Put it in front of you. This is it. It's marketing, management, and sales. So we've been focusing on marketing and sales. Let's get over here on the other side to management. Okay. If you've done your marketing and your sales properly, guess what? Management should start to take care of itself. Managing your business is not about managing employees. Although that, if you've done everything right, that's what will happen. You'll be managing employees. But the managing part, I suggest everybody pick this up. The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. He basically says, look, how many of you, and this ties in with his book, but how many of you started your businesses based on the simple fact that it's something you love doing? Let's pick graphic design as a business. Graphic design, almost always, those graphic designers realized they could create things and products and annual reports and videos for clients, and it was fun and it was creative and it was artistic. So that means I physically am my business. I physically am the talent that drives that business. I physically, just like a bricklayer, have to be present to build whatever it is I have to create for my clients. Simple, right? What we've done is we've created a job for ourselves. We haven't created a business, we've created a job. Took me years to learn this. So what happens is if you want to create a business, you can't be working on projects in the business. Now, if you're the creative director, you need to oversee the people who build the products and the things that you create. But as you grow, you become two parts of that business. You're what drives the internal creative force in the company, and you're the person who sells the business and what you do. In order to grow, you have to do less of what you started the business for. The whole reason you started the business was because you're an awesome designer, like me. But to grow the business, you have to stop being an awesome designer and hire an awesome designer to work for you, and now become the lead sales guy, the promoter, the person who speaks about the business, the person who's in on every pitch, the person who is the face of the business, rather than sitting at a desk. You know, this happened to Bill Gates. At one point, Microsoft got so huge, it was like, wow. And Bill Gates would still show up at 3 o'clock in the morning with Pepsi, Diet Coke, Pepsi, whatever, and pizza with a baseball cap on and his glasses, and he'd be changing the programming structure inside Word or inside, Windows. And finally, his staff and some people in the upper management came to him and they said, Bill, you got to make a choice. You're either a programmer, head of programming, or you're a CEO. You must make that decision. And that's the same for you. If you're watching this, you have to make the decision. Are you the CEO of your business, or are you the head designer, the head chief chef and bottle washer? And I know it's going to freak some of you out because now you have to take actual money and pay somebody to duplicate what you're doing. And we do get confused. A few months ago, I was working with somebody and I sent them a proposal, and it's kind of interesting. I'm a business coach, and I didn't know this, but one of the people that they had hired to do their website and their social media stuff, they showed my proposal to them. And this person now was dictating terms on me. And I'm like, whoa, I am the general contractor. I'm the person who hires everybody and knows the blueprint for that house, and you've just showed my construction blueprint to your plumber, and your plumber's telling you what not to do. Don't hire this guy. I could do all this stuff. Well, I've built 8 businesses from scratch. Several have become multi-million-dollar businesses, one of which I took public on NASDAQ, and it was listed at $26 million in valuation. I've also helped launch brands from scratch, and they've exploded. Go look up ePromos. I launched that business from day one for the owner of that company. I have done so many launches, it's not funny, for pharmaceutical industries. I know business. And it's funny, I have gotten weirdly obsessed with business. And I went to college for art. So this is what's so funny. What'd you say, Lee? Such a real obstacle for people to learn how to navigate. I'm still juggling. Yeah, we can get caught up in... have a great dinner, Lee. Thank you so much for being on and your impact and everything on the group. Thank you so much. Friend Lee, everybody, please. So how long have we been on? We've been on since 12:30. It's 45 minutes. Can you believe it? So let's get back into the sales and marketing, and then now we're leading into the structure. So if you've done your marketing and your sales correctly, you can now step away a little bit from actually being the business, inside the business, doing the work on the business, and you can now start to hire people. So your virtual assistant is probably your first step, because now you've got to be freed up to sell more. Hopefully your website is a powerful marketing tool. And guess what? In this day and age, every website must have a 2-minute video on there. And it must have a promise statement. Okay? My promise statement is preparing the next generation for leadership. Or I can say preparing the next generation of leaders. It's even more powerful. But play around with that unique promise statement. You've got to have that on there. So, you've got your marketing and your sales, and now your business is growing. It's building. You've got more money than you know what to do with. Cash flow's coming in. You've hired an accountant. Well, now you've got to start selling your business and what you do. And that means you have to look back inside your business every once in a while and kind of say, okay, I've got to build a structure here that actually works. And if you don't build your structure, you don't have a business. Sarah says, my statement is that I'm going to empower parents to be more productive in their children's educational journey. Boom! Now, from that statement, what services do you provide? You don't have to say it right now, but you should write those out. What services do you provide to parents? Maybe you have parent workshops. Maybe you have all these different things, and maybe those parents can't afford to pay a fee for those, so you can get government grants for these things. Okay? So this is very powerful when you start to get very clear about your mission statement. And by the way, your mission statement probably should sit in the center of all this. Sorry, I'm working backwards. In the center of all this, right here, that's where your mission statement should sit, your business mission statement, because it's going to drive everything you do. I want you to be prepared as the business structure, as you start to look at the business structure and you start to say, okay, I need a graphic designer and I need somebody on the phones and I need this and I need that, and you start to step back and realize it's going to build slowly sometimes. It's going to build slowly or it's going to build fast, depending on your ability to let go and let things start to actually flow. But that also means that you may have to adopt to the changes that are happening outside of you. For instance, let's go back to Starbucks. Starbucks thought it would be a smart idea to have Starbucks restaurants, right? They bombed. They bombed miserably, because it wasn't aligned with their brand or their mission statement. And their mission and their brand statement is all about coffee. So why would you create restaurants? In this day and age, you have to get laser beam focused, but at the same time be prepared to adapt to new technologies, new methodologies, new ways of doing things. The companies that refuse to adapt are Columbia House, Blockbuster Video, the Sharper Image. The Sharper Image and Columbia House were supposed to be cutting edge, on top of the latest technology, on top of the latest record and download trends, and they blew it because they didn't adapt. You have to stay on top of those things and adapt. Your business may shift, have a micro shift, just like that. Boom, just a little tweak. And now you're going to have to go in that new direction. That's awesome. Go for it. Don't be afraid. When I was first confronted with the internet, I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever saw. As a graphic designer, it was a step backwards. I was used to working with animation and video and top level stuff. And I wasn't doing it with a computer. We were doing it all by hand. Video editing and things like that were, back in my day, were done by hand. So all of a sudden, along comes a computer. Then that gave me the tools and the power to do everything on my own. Probably the dumbest thing ever. And then what happened is, if I want to sell my skills, it's a great thing. But if I want to manage a company, I just have to make sure that everybody in my company has a laptop to work on. And we shifted from desktops to laptops because people are on the go now. They want to work wherever they want to work. But then this thing came along called the internet, and I was confused by it because it started to say, it's a brochure. That's what a website is. But it's more than a brochure now that I get it. It took me a while to get it, but I got it. And now I'm the whiz-bang kid of the internet. I know all about it. Boom. But basically what it is it's a brochure. And what happens when people come to your website and they read it for the first time, they're done. They're never going to revisit your website because it's an online brochure. You have to create a one-to-one relationship with them. And if your website happens to be where that one-to-one relationship lies, it might be something else. It might be YouTube. It might be interactive emails. It might be your newsletter through MailChimp. It might be all these things. But creating that one-to-one relationship, that's incredibly important in the 21st century because guess what happens? You're now creating interactivity. And now people don't just come to your website, they want to buy stuff at your website if you have a transactional-based website. Now maybe you run campaigns or you run things where they can win prizes and things like that. Or maybe you have a challenge, a 7-day challenge for people, things like that, where you create interactivity, interaction. People start to enjoy your brand. They love hanging out with your brand. Tom did the coffee challenge. They were going to choose from these 5 or 6 different coffees, and one of them happened to be a client. They were like, this is incredible. This is one of our favorite brands, and we didn't just pick it because it was a blind taste test. Boom. And they film it. They put it up on the web, and it becomes part of their brand, which becomes exciting. So for you, you can do the same thing. Your website must have a video. It must have an opt-in page or a pop-up opt-in. If you don't know what an opt-in is, I'll explain it real quick. It's a widget, which is a piece of proprietary programming that brings up a form that allows the person to join your newsletter or get a free report or have access to 5 of your top videos. And it gives them entrance and private entrance as a member of your group that wants to learn about what you do. And then when they give you that email address, then you take that email address and now you're able to use it to send them gently, don't bombard them, you send them very gently some information that they might need. Maybe they need to know about generational issues. That's what I specialize in. So I put in there things about boomers, Generation X, and millennials, and Generation Z, all impacting their investments, the future of their retirement, where they're going to be when it comes time to manage a company, what to do with themselves. So it's all in there, all together. Hi, Ruth. Welcome aboard. Hey, Brad. Just got the opportunity to hop on. Welcome. Welcome aboard. I want you to watch this one over because this one I think is going to really help you and everybody else who's watching it. It's getting back to business basics. And here's the matrix you can draw for yourself. If if you can see that. This is your chart. It has to have marketing on there, sales, and management. Management is your structure. So we're talking a little bit about that. So getting back to that structure. Today, in this day and age, your marketing, your sales, and your management, or your structure of your business, they're all intertwined. And it's because of your website. The internet has created this ability for you to broadcast from your website, to write and publish from your website, to create interactivity from your website, to create a relationship from your website. Your website can do so many things. It's not funny. It's amazing. Tom, you asked who Generation Z is. Your kids are Generation Z. They're the next generation. They're coming up behind millennials. And they don't think like us. They don't act like us. They want to do things very differently. I like to call them the cloud generation. Cloud gen. Because let's put it this way. They don't want to be managed the same. They don't want to be spoken to the same. They want to have leadership abilities before they have the experience to do so. And a lot of times they're highly creative, highly intuitive, highly fun. And guess what? Where we saved record albums and VHS tapes and DVDs on a bookshelf, they don't do that stuff. Everything is in the cloud. That's why they're called the cloud kids. Anyways, all the information and the studies on them is coming in. I probably am going to have to get off here in a little bit. Astoundingly, we've been on almost an hour. So I can go on and on about marketing, sales, and management structure. But, contact me. Several people after the 7-day challenge, they really were blown away. We had several people sign up for my coaching programs, and I'm really honored for that. I love you guys. We have a few people hanging on the edge. They're getting ready to sign up as well. I look forward to helping you out this year. This is a very powerful time because you can create the reality you want. And building a business from scratch may be hard for you, so you need a little guidance maybe, or do some of the research. I'm here to give you those tools. Watch all the videos, read all the books I recommend. You don't have to hire me. You just get in there and learn it on your own. It's easy. But don't get confused between a business coach and the person who builds your website. Because a website is a tool for your business, but it's not your business. It's like you have all your cashiers lined up, but it's not your business. It's part of it. It's a tool to be utilized and change and grow. And that's another piece of this. Your website may have to be updated constantly because Google is always looking for bots and bringing you up to the top of things and all that. So blogging, vlogging, which is video blogging, whatever it is, getting in articles, anything that can get you PR, anything that can get you known will drive business. Okay? Haha, I read Flowers for Algernon this morning is when I saw your post. Good stuff. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed the 7-day challenge. For those of you who don't know about the 7-day challenge, go back and watch and do the challenges that I do one day at a time. There's 5 of them, and it includes mindset, getting into that inner child work, emotions, energy, exercise, and eating right. And that'll help you. If you do one of those consistently, your life will be transformed. And also go back, we have about 12 other videos before this that cover mindset, they cover business, they cover spirituality, they cover all these cool things that make up me. And I think you've joined this group because you have the same stuff inside you. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. Robert, I mentioned you earlier. You just came on. Man, we missed you on here today. We got Sarah, we got Robert, we got Tom. Tom, I don't think I've ever seen you in on our videos. This is your first time, so welcome, my friend. So glad that you're on here. Tom and my wife and my sister-in-law, we're all like family friends, so we've been around for years. We know, like, and trust each other. We've watched our kids grow up, and it's been amazingly fun. On the phone with the lawyer. Hey, Robert, that's good. That's good stuff. They never stop. No, they don't. So, What are you going to do to change your life this year, huh? What are you going to do to kick it up a notch, kick ass, take names, build that brand, become what you've always wanted to become? You know, we're not getting any younger. And yes, we may reincarnate, but this is the moment for your mission to be driven home. And one of these days, I'm really going to put it out there. I'd love to have my wife on here. We could really do a session on healing and understanding healing, both emotionally and getting our energy shifted so that you're prepared on this journey, this entrepreneurial journey. It's ongoing. It's always ongoing. It's never ending. It's never stopping. So it's Friday. What are you going to do that's going to make a difference today and through the weekend? What are you going to do? Are you going to go back and watch some of those videos from the 7-day challenge? Are you going to try and eat healthy this weekend? Are you going to do some self-care? Are you going to do something you've never done before but you've always wanted to do? I challenge you to do that. In this liquid leadership nation, as I've always said, this is a sanctuary for you. And I provide you with all the tools that I've learned through the years here on planet Earth. And I hope you're getting a lot of value in that. Don't forget to friend some people that you would know, like, and admire in the group. Don't be creepy. Don't be stalking people. I'm going to kick you out if you do that. But participate. Have fun. Learn. You have tools here in this group that no other group's giving you. So enjoy them. Have fun with them. Get fired up. And I'm going to go out and enjoy the rest of the day, see what I can do. I have a lot to do, including getting my taxes ready, which is a privilege here in this day and age. You have to look at it as a blessing. So I'm going to sign off. I want to thank everybody. Big shout out to Expedition Yeti for getting on. Thanks, Robert. Also to Sarah for kicking it up, taking names. You really, you shocked me in the 7-day challenge. It was powerful what you did. Very powerful. Elizabeth as well. All of you have done amazing work. Ruth, Brett, just powerful. Sheila, everybody stepped up to the plate. So I just want to let you know I'm honored to be in service to you. I'm honored to be your coach. Go out there and have some fun and kick ass and take names, my friend. Enjoy the weekend. Have fun. Treat yourself. You've earned it. I'll see you. Bye-bye.